Over the years, I have tried dozens of akuri recipes, but nothing ever came close to the ones you find at Irani Cafe. Today, I am trying one from this book called Dishoom, which was gifted to me by a friend a couple of years ago. Somewhere between the recipe notes and the stories, I came across something that stayed with me. Now, everyone knows the Parsi story, a community that arrived in India seeking refuge from religious persecution and made itself ground up very deliberately through integrity and trade. In many ways, Bombay and Gujarat do owe some of their infrastructural and cultural fabric to them. But one of their unique and quieter contributions show up in something as everyday as the Irani cafe. At a time when eating outside wasn't the norm, when food was deeply segregated and regulated by caste, class, and religion, even race at that point of time, because it was the British time. These cafes introduced by the Parsis had the idea of a shared table, not elite, not exclusive, just available. Clerks, workers, students, sometimes even sex workers who otherwise would never share space, sitting side by side, were sitting and sharing space on the same table. Not necessarily in harmony, but definitely in routine proximity. And over time, that kind of closeness began to matter. There were also some of the very few spaces in the city where time could be spent without any pressure. You could sit for longer stretches by just ordering something small without being asked to leave. A small detail, but it quietly made lingering and loitering possible. I've always been interested in this ultra niche topic, women loitering, not moving with purpose, not having anywhere to go to, not caring about a stranger's gaze, but just being. That's where Irani cafes feel special in its own way. The cabin style seating, which is public but also has private pockets, a structure that allowed women and even men to step out and still feel safe and secure, to sit without urgency, to wait without being watched, to exist in public without being asked. It's a small and unintentional design choice, but it shifts behavior. The Dishoom author writes that when we break bread together, the barriers soften. Maybe spaces like Irani cafes did not break the barriers, they softened them. They made them easier to cross. The questions of where it was cooked, how it was cooked, feel secondary. But who got to be there felt primary. These are all the things that I have been thinking about between the recipes.